Chief Officer, come in, Chief.
Yes, this is Chief Officer reply.
So, finally, the day comes when I take over as chief officer on this ship. Hong Kong once again.
This is my last mooring stations in the forward. After this, I will not be coming to mooring stations anymore. I will be on the bridge all the time with captain because that's what the company policy says. Chief mate on the bridge with the captain.
I had just come back from station, finished with the forward station, and before I could even settle in, I was bombarded with jobs, one after another. And just like that, I am chief officer. Before all this started, there was one small thing I had done. I had kept one boiler suit aside, brand new, untouched, still folded in the cupboard. I was saving it for the day I get promoted. I didn't wear it before, I waited, and today was that day. Hong Kong was already at full throttle, fast and unforgiving, and right in the middle of it, we had two visitors from the office. One internal audit, another a VECP audit, a crane survey, and on top of everything, bunkering. It wasn't a very friendly situation, not even close. Definitely not an easy takeover, especially for someone stepping into the chief officer's role for the first time in his life, in his very first contract. But there was no choice. I stepped into those shoes, and took over as much as I possibly could from the outgoing chief officer. The takeover itself stretched from morning all the way into the evening, hours just slipping by. And then suddenly it was evening. Everyone was gone, the visitors, the officials. The outgoing chief officer was also set to leave at midnight. And there I was, left alone. Just me, my computer, a ship full of cargo, and a beautiful vessel that I now have to run for the next few months. Somewhere in between all of this, I already know one thing, that I'm not sleeping today. First cup of coffee, second cup of coffee, third cup of coffee. I stay awake because I know I have to hold through the entire night until cargo operations are done. There are a few reasons for that, unsaid, not mandatory, but understood. The first one is simple. This is my first loading port as chief officer. You don't sleep on your first one. You stay awake. You watch, you understand what's happening. Second reason is just me. It's my nature. When things are moving, when responsibility has just shifted on me, I can't sleep even if I try. And the third reason is we are loading close to 300 reefers. Problems are guaranteed. Electrician, duty officers, reefer technicians, they will surely call me for coordination, and I have to be there. And on top of that, we are sailing at early morning around 6 o'clock. So there isn't much time left anyway. So coffee replaces sleep, and the night just becomes another extension of the day. Cargo is almost coming to an end now, and that's when the pressure really starts to hit. Up until now, things were busy, but now every minute matters. Chief officer is gone, and suddenly there is no one left to ask. No second opinion, no safety net. It's just me. As cargo nears completion, time starts running faster, and with every passing second, my heartbeat goes up because the most critical part is right here at the end, the drafts. Whatever I have calculated, whatever the computer says, it all has to match in reality. At the same time, deballasting also has to be completed, and we are carrying close to 300 reefers on my very first voyage, first contract as chief officer. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for anything more. Set point differences start coming in. Electrician calls me.
Chief,
Yeah.
we have one reefer problem.
Alarms start popping up. Malfunctions here and there. And this was all expected. With 300 reefers, problems are guaranteed. A reefer technician comes on board, paperwork in hand, asking for my signature. And for the first time, I am stamping as well as signing as chief officer. In between all this chaos, this one small moment really makes me smile. Then it's the lashing checks, confirmations with the crew, making sure everything is absolutely tight because we are about to sail into bad weather. Slowly, everything starts coming together. Cargo is done, lashings are confirmed, systems are more or less stable, and we are almost ready to sail. Okay, so now the cargo work is officially completed, and now comes the part I had only watched from the deck all these years, the final draft check. Earlier it was always Chief Officer going down, this time it's me. This realization hits hard.
So hey guys, right now I have come to the forward of the ship to check the drafts, and trust me, this is the most important job of chief officer right before completion of cargo, because this is what I had calculated, and I hope that the calculated drafts matches with the actual drafts here, and trust me, this feeling is almost like royalty, because chief mate generally doesn't come out in port, and this is the only time he comes out, and all crew are like watching, okay, the chief mate walking. And I used to watch, I used to feel like this when I was second mate, and like it's really royalty feeling. So let's just hope, let's check the draft forward and after this, and let's just hope that it matches.
I do the check, come back up, and that part is fine. But then comes the first real obstacle of my first day, a list. 1.3 degrees to port side. I know what to do. I have seen this so many times over the years. I know the lineups, I know the sequence, I know how it's supposed to work. I start correcting it, but somehow it just doesn't. No matter what I do, the ship refuses to come upright. I am scratching my head, trying again and again, going through every possibility, slowly turning desperate, and in the end, honestly praying. The captain calls me once, correct the list. He calls again, are you correcting the list? I tell him, I'm trying, but it's not happening. He asked me, now what? I ask him for some time, and then he hangs up. I try everything I possibly can, but nothing works. It's still stuck at 1.3 degrees. My voice starts to go low, my confidence now drops. I run out of options. The last thing now left is to call the crew and ask them to manually check the valves. But by this time, the pilot is already boarding. And that's it. I have to give up. I now walk to the bridge disappointed because I know what's waiting for me there. A cold look. And in this moment, none of the things I managed today matter. Not the 300 reefers, not the audits, not the emails, not staying awake the whole day and night. There's one thing that I could not fix in the end. It all feels like it wipes out everything else. It's 6 in the morning. What used to be Chief Officer's watch is now mine. We have departed Hong Kong and we are heading towards the next port in the Philippines. And for a change, my watch has shifted from 12 to 4, now it's 4 to 8. Almost after 10 years, I am back on this watch. I used to do this as a cadet with Chief Officer, and back then I absolutely hated it. And now, after a decade, I am doing it again. Same watch, different role. I honestly thought I would enjoy it this time, but after everything that just happened, I couldn't. After the watch, I go straight on deck. Heavy weather is expected. Really bad weather for the next 1 or 2 days. So I have to personally check everything. Cross decks, main deck, the forward stations, every loose items that could become a problem. I don't want any more surprises, honestly. No more obstacles. I have been awake for close to 24 hours now. Still holding on, still walking. And with everything secured, I report to the bridge. The ship is secured for sea, ready for rough weather. And now it's time to sit down and finally try to understand what really went wrong during departure. With me is AB Jonathan. He's not a cadet, but he's close enough. Someone who is going to be my right-hand man from now on. He has been doing manual ballast operations with the last Chief Officer. So we walk together, try to figure out what exactly happened in the morning. Because I know my lineup was perfect. There was no way I'd messed up the valves or the pipelines. I go through diagrams, manuals, maker's drawings, shipyard plans, everything. Almost 2 hours pass and nothing clicks. And then there's this one tiny valve at the bottom, just sitting there, almost winking at me. There is no logical reason it should be the problem, but at this point I stop listening to the books and start listening to instinct. I open it just to try, and suddenly water flows. Levels start correcting, and just like that, After a full day awake, another 2 hours when I should have been sleeping, breaking my head, using every bit of my brain, it turns out this one tiny valve was the reason behind all this stress. And that's the lesson that hits me right there. Not everything works according to the books on a ship, especially on Chinese built ships. So now I call the bridge and ask if the ship is up right now. And on the other hand, I hear the captain laugh a little. Yeah, now it's upright. I don't say anything. I don't feel happy. I don't feel peaceful. And definitely, I don't feel like celebrating because this isn't a war I have won. This is just one hurdle crossed. And I already know there are hundreds more waiting ahead. Honestly, I wasn't prepared for this, but I was literally wanting this. A lot of people had warned me that this ship isn't easy and that the chief officer's role is even harder. But this is what exactly I was asking for all this time. So there's literally no room to complain. The responsibility is massive. I can feel it physically. The difference is hell and heaven. As a second officer, you do your watch, you finish, and after your watch, you honestly don't care about what's happening in the ship. But as a chief officer, the weight of the entire ship sits on your shoulders suddenly. The shift is real, and I can so feel it now. For now, after almost 30 hours awake, I can finally try to sleep a little peacefully and wait for the next day to see what's in store for me next. Stay tuned for the next vlog to see how I am really doing as a fresh chief officer.